Well, Stephen A. finally responds to that fat, that piece of shit. Let's get it.
There's a few things going on in the world of sports that need to be addressed, but on this particular day, they don't take precedent. Instead, one would be Aaron Rodgers and his situation with the Pat McAfee show. That's necessary to address because, after all, I'm an employee for ESPN. The other would be a fat bastard that has gotten away for far too long talking his bullshit. You wanted some? Fine. I'm happy to give it to you.
Let's get it.
Piece of shit. Stephen A. show up next right now. Now, I have sat back for years, at least 9 to 10 years, saying absolutely nothing about this man. I never uttered the words fat bastard out of my mouth until a few months ago. So that means that the previous 9 years, you never heard me speak on him at all. But now it's necessary. Excuse me. Because you see, if you listen to the fat bastard, I didn't play high school ball.
Michael Myers gonna
It was Harvey Stolen.
sue y'all.
Thomas A. Edison Vocational and Technical High School. I played there my senior year. I was in a basketball tournament at Fashion Institute of Technology where I dropped 27 points and got a scholarship because the coach came calling me after that and what have you. If you listen to him, I never had a scholarship to Winston-Salem State, even though it's on the books. Just call the university. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an honorary doctorate member. I have an honorary doctorate from Winston-Salem State University because of my contributions to Winston-Salem State. I'm called Dr. Smith. Has something to also do with the contributions that I make because I believe about upliftment. I'm an ambassador for HBCU Week, and I've partnered with Ashley Christopher and Mir Persicki in Delaware and others to generate over 10,000 scholarships in excess of over $65 million in scholarships for African Americans.
But what they got to do with what he said?
But this man will tell you I'm lying.
Oh.
He even went so far as to say my autobiography, where I talk about my mother, my father, my sisters, the business, my hiring and firing and rehiring at ESPN. I didn't write it. I didn't write my own memoir, which, by the way, is a New York Times bestseller, something he wouldn't know anything about. Did you know that it's now on paperback? It just came out yesterday on paperback. Do you know that you could go to Amazon.com, straightshooterbook.com, or a bookstore nearest you to get my book in paperback?
Get that
Do you
money.
know that when people are normally selling 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 copies, I've sold over 400,000? Did you know, did you know, did you know? But he will tell you, I didn't write it. He's seen my writing. Really?
See, that's what I'm talking about, though, bro. They're talking about, dog, where does energy at with everybody else that cat called out? You know what I'm saying? Do what I'm putting. This is what you're expecting, bro. You ain't about to shit on me, bro. You're not about to discredit my accomplishments, my achievements, my work, any of that. I'm going to show y'all. At least say it. I doubt anybody going to deep dive in this shit to verify what the hell Stephen A. is saying, but the fact that he's clapping back with this, bro, means everything. It speaks volumes, bro. Yo, fat bastard piece of ass is capping. It's all cap, dog. I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking about, dog.
This article is an article written on Deadspin.com.
What is that?
The title, How Jason Whitlock is Poisoning ESPN's Black Grant Land. Because remember, Bill Simmons, who's now at Spotify doing a great job, obviously had Grantland at ESPN, and upon his departure, Jason Whitlock was supposed to take up the mantle and create a black website for folks. This article was written by a Greg Howard, published on April 27th, 2015. The same Jason Whitlock that said he's seen my writing, the same Jason Whitlock that implied that I couldn't write, the same Jason Whitlock that said that I'm lying. What does this man do? Why would I call up this article? There's a plethora of reasons why I would do so, ladies and gentlemen. One of the reasons would be because it's as in-depth as it gets about how scurrilous, how trifling, how despicable this man is. But there's also another reason that I'd pick up this article. Let me read the graph to you that it says. Keep in mind, Stephen A. can't write. This staff, the one Whitlock was praising by way of warnings that if the writers and editors wouldn't align with his vision, he would get rid of them, was not the one Whitlock wanted. The Undefeated, because that was the name of the title before it ultimately became Andscape. The Undefeated was originally meant to attract the best and brightest young black talent in the country, with Whitlock's aim set so high that he at one point seriously tried to recruit the Atlantic's Ta-Nehisi Coates, the sharpest cultural commentator in the business today. As things worked out, though, those young writers comprehensively refused to work with him. So did big-name ESPNers like Howard Bryant, Jamel Hill, and Stephen A. Smith. I couldn't write, huh? While you were on Blaze TV, spewing that bullshit to people. Did you tell them that? Did you tell them how you stood outside of First Take begging me to talk to you? Did you tell them that once this same article in Deadspin came out, weeks later you wrote a lengthy apology to me in an email, begging me to forgive you, pointing out how you were betrayed by this particular writer, so you know how I must feel that you betrayed me? Did you tell the folks that, you bitch? Did you tell them?
That's what I'm here for, bro. That's what I'm here for, dog. Hey, man, I'm keeping 1,000 with you, man. Like, it's odd hearing him speak like this about another man, like another coworker. You know what I mean? Like, pick up the phone and address this. But I understand, dog. I understand. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of them occasions where, nah, I'm not doing that, bro. You don't get the opportunity to go up on your platform with the millions of followers you have and shit on my name, and I don't get to retaliate. We ain't doing that. Like, I could call you and we could figure this shit out, but nah, I need everybody to know that you really the bitch. You ain't capping, and I'm not playing that shit. We can talk about this shit after. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to capitalize off roasting your ass too, bitch. I'm just gonna put money in my motherfucking pocket. Cat wins ain't about to get all this exposing money himself, bro. I'm with this shit too. Whew, it's just entertaining. Yeah, get to the juicy shit, bro. I'm trying to hear why you called your pastor and why you warned ESPN that you about to get in this motherfucker ass. What, you just called him a bitch? That's it? Nah, bro. I'm gonna need some more haymakers thrown, though. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
You fat piece of shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Got the names.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Jamel Hill. We got Howard Bryant. You want me to bring up the other writers that wouldn't work for you? Why it took you nearly 2 years to get an article out? Because you ran that shit so bad you were running it into the ground? What a disgrace you were to John Skipper, the former boss of ESPN? Or the host of others? You want me to talk about that?
Let's get it.
Because I got receipts. I got the email. Want me to talk about that? Yeah. Now, just for everybody that wants to understand, how could this possibly be? Because once upon a time, I actually tried to speak up for this damn cretin.
What do you call him, a cretin?
I knew he was a piece of shit. But I said, look, maybe he's misunderstood. Why would I do that, ladies and gentlemen? Because sometimes as black folks,
help each other out.
We get in our own way. We think that all of us must be of one monolithic thinking, that we need to be completely and totally aligned. And any deviation from that
It's not black.
brings into question our quote-unquote blackness.
Talk that shit.
Martin Luther King was a man of peace. Malcolm X was by any means necessary. They can't possibly be on the same page, even though their agendas was for the upliftment and the preservation of our race of people. So I understand when we talk about stuff like this, how people can sit up there and say, how did it get to this? How did it get to this? Remember when I got suspended years ago? You know what's out there writing stuff, smiling in my face 1 minute, talking smack about me behind my back, and then ultimately writing it? It was him. Remember when I supposedly used people were speculating that he used the N-word on the air and all of this other stuff? He was the first one out there trying to say that I did it.
Shitting on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't do it on the air, in my humble opinion. I'm telling you that. However, it's not like I didn't use the N-word when I was off the air, when I was talking to my fellas, or I was talking to other folks who happened to be black. I am not a proponent of using that word often, nor am I advocating that word.
Man, you ain't gotta explain yourself, bro. You a grown ass man, dog. You a grown ass man, bro. If anybody out here trying to dictate how you conversate off the air, man, tell them to kiss your whole ass, bro. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? I don't promote using that word. Y'all know I don't use that word no more. But at the end of the day, you a grown ass man. You can say what the fuck you want. Motherfucker got anything to say about a black man using the motherfucking N-word to discredit him as a sports analyst, to say he's unprofessional, bro. Suck my dick. For real, bro. Fuck out of here. That's some hoe shit.
Associated with me in terms of when I was younger. But I was always saying we as black people communicate how we want to communicate with each other. I love John Wooten, who's been associated with the Fritz Alliance, the Fritz Alliance, Fritz Pollard Alliance. Love that man. Love his contributions to the NFL. But when we would get into it in the past on rare occasions, it wasn't that he wanted the eradication of the N-word, because I support that. My issue with him was, hey, you shouldn't be encouraging the NFL to fine us and penalize us for using it amongst ourselves. How can a race of people who actually made the word iniquitous be in a position to punish us for using the word with one another? I had a problem with that.
That's an SAT word. Iniquitous? Bruh, and Whitlock talking about he can't write the fuck. Iniquitous. That is a nasty one there. Iniquitous. What does that mean? Grossly unfair, morally wrong. That was,
A position to punish us for using the word with one another. I had a problem with that. And I stand by that. But I digress. My point is, in bringing up all of that, Jason Whitlock pounced on it.
Because he a hoe.
Because that's what he does. You see, what he does is he's the one that puts himself in front of white folks. The white folks, not all white folks, not most white folks, but the white folks that dare we say may have a problem with black folks. He says,
you call him Uncle Tom?
I'm your man. That's what he does. You think I'm lying? Ask ESPN. Ask Fox.
I hope you don't get in trouble for this shit, bro.
Ask the Kansas City Star. Ask them all. Jamel Hill. Rob Parker. Chris Broussard. Skip Bayless. Yours truly. Along with a host of black folks all over this country. Every single one of them will confirm what the hell I'm saying about this piece of garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, as a black man, I often told y'all, I cannot imagine as a black man knowing our history, anything worse than a white supremacist. That is, until Jason Whitlock came along. He's worse than them.
Damn.
He is the worst, most despicable, lying, no good, fat ass human being I have ever known.
Goddamn gossip girls, bruh. I'm here for it though. Fuck it, let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Skipper, the former boss for ESPN, wanted to start this website. And if you remember, when the Undefeated first came into existence, it was labeled the premier platform for intelligent analysis and celebration of black culture and the African American struggle for equality. That's what it was labeled as. Now that I read you that quote, let me give you a quote that this guy, Greg Howard, has a recording of Jason Whitlock saying to his staff at that time. If you're more comfortable working for white people rather than working for me, and that sounds humorous, but it's the truth, fine. This is according to audio obtained by Deadspin back in 2015. Some black people are far more comfortable answering to a white person than a black person, no matter how black they like to pass themselves off to be. Far more comfortable because they know a white person is going to overlook their shortcomings. It's good for a Negro. I'm not about that. But if you're more comfortable working for a white person, I will find a white person for you to work for. We have a higher standard here. Everybody has to get on board with that, or I'm going to find a way to move them someplace else. That was Jason Whitlock. And then he went out and hired a senior writer and editor, Mike Wise, who's white. This is the man that's in charge of black culture. Why can I say that? And by the way, I'm not casting any aspersions against Mike Weiss. I'm cool with him. I've always been cool with him. He used to work for the New York Times, used to cover the Knicks long before he moved on to the Washington Post. He's a credible journalist. I have nothing negative to say about him. I'm just saying, black website, but you bring in your white friend. In part because black folks didn't want to work for you. But I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, how serious I am? Am I? I have a contract that I negotiated with ESPN and I signed in 2015. I don't know of anyone who has this in their contracts. I had it in my contract, and I have a copy of it.
That you don't want to work with him?
Where it specifically stipulates that I never work with Jason Whitlock. It's in writing.
Damn. That's why you had to address this shit.
First take.
I'm with you, though. I feel it.
You didn't see him on Undisputed with Skip Bayless either. Skip Bayless wouldn't allow him on there.
So, yeah, I don't fuck with Jason.
You didn't see him on Numbers Never Lie.
He whack as hell to me.
Either. Christopher Broussard.
My guy.
For Fox Sports.
My guy.
And Fox Sports Radio.
Broussard's fire.
Let me take a moment to tell you about Chris Broussard. If Chris Broussard were not in this industry, do you know where he'd probably be? Probably, because I don't know for sure, but probably be, y'all, in a monastery.
Oh, yeah, he real religious.
He's one of the most religious, God-fearing, decent human beings you will ever encounter. It doesn't get any better than Christopher Broussard. And he can't stand it. Look around. Don't y'all notice why black people scurry away whenever this roach of an individual is around named Whitlock?
I'm glad I let this bitch play.
We know what he is.
Oh, man.
Blaze TV. You may not know. Glenn Beck, Dave Rubin, the great one himself, Mark Levin. I bring up Blaze TV, which is where Whitlock works, because I want Blaze TV to understand I'm not talking about you. I know you're a conservative, I get all of that. I'm not judging accordingly. I know Mark Levin well. We have one of
Trying to
the
get
speed.
Whitlock fired, ain't he?
The same applies to Sean Hannity, the Andrew Wilkows of the world. Okay? I talk to these folks. I'm not one of those people that's married to one side or the other. And decent people are everywhere. Be careful that you don't get yourself stained and stenched by Whitlock. He can do that to people. He is the worst. He's not ethical. He's not moral. Clearly, based off of what I told you about me, he's also not factual most of the time. He will lie. He will denigrate. And he will turn against anyone to serve his own good. The real reason, and casting no aspersions on what Blaze TV presents and what it has to offer, the real reason he's there is because he can't get a job anywhere else. He hasn't burnt bridges. He's napalm. Call Eric Shanks and
You
Charlie
about to
Dixon
get Jason fired.
Call Jimmy Pitaro, Burke Magnus, Dave Roberts, Norby Williamson at ESPN. Call him. Call him.
Who the hell gonna call him though?
Call John Skipper at Meadowlark Media. I'm giving you names. I'm giving you names. That's just I already gave you on-air talent names. I gave you reporters and on-air talent. Ladies and gentlemen, this same Jason Whitlock that wants to talk smack about me is the same Jason Whitlock that wanted to hire me. It's the same Jason Whitlock that stood outside doors trying to get me and coax me into even having a conversation with them because they knew I was so disgusted with him, presumably after he hit a strip club, because we all know ain't nobody trying to go out with him. Okay? The same Jason Whitlock, that guy.
Yeah, this shit petty as fuck, but it's all good.
That sent both Dan Lebertard and Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, the two-time champion, the Hall of Famer, one of the greatest point guards in NBA history, now working on NBA TV. That guy, that same Jason Whitlock, sent those folks to talk to me. Please, is there something that could be worked out? Can you forgive him? Can you talk to him? My words and my promise to them was that I want nothing to do with him. I will never hurt him from getting opportunities.
You doing that shit now?
Damn.
You doing that shit now?
Help him by being associated with him in any way. Do you know why I said that, ladies and gentlemen? As black people, and I guess I was wrong. I should say at this particular moment in time, I was wrong to call him a fat bastard or a roach and all of this other stuff, because that's not my name for him. My name for Jason Whitlock is religiously Cain. C-A-I-N. You see, a lot of black folks, we talk about how we're the original man on the face of this earth. Well, that means Cain was the original murderer, because he's the one, according to the Bible, who killed Abel. That's Jason Whitlock.
Man, you putting it on thick, man.
There is nothing good about him. Absolutely nothing. And I challenge anybody that knows anything about him to refute what I'm saying. I have the facts. They're all here. I know what he's done. The biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes that John Skipper could have ever made as the former boss of ESPN was hiring that man. Everyone knows it. That's why he attacks ESPN. That's why he attacks colleagues and contemporaries in the industry. It's not just because he thinks he's smarter. It's not just because he's fearful of anybody smarter than him in the same room. It's not just because of those reasons. It's because he truly despises us all. It's who he is. And the funny part about
Trying to say you hate the black man?
when he sits up there and he says, you know, I can't do this or I can't do that. Look, I'm 56 years old. If y'all think now that I'm successful in this business, that I gotta sit here and lie about me playing basketball in high school to write in my own damn memoir at this point in time in my life, I can't help y'all. I'm not gonna waste my time with this.
Man, but what about the 1.5 points, bro? And what about the 0 points? You can't clear that up for your dog, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, Jason Whitlock's the bitch, the worst type of motherfucker ever. He a white supremacist. But what about the 1.5 points, dog?
What I would say to you, however, is this. I have a bestseller. Where's his?
That don't mean you wrote it, though. I think he wrote it, but I'm just saying.
I got let go by
that's
ESPN,
not relevant.
and they brought me back. They won't let him in within city limits. I'm telling you what I know. How the Fox thing work out? When he was on the air arguing with Christopher Broussard or arguing with Marcellus Wiley? What happened to him?
I hated
he wants
that
to talk
motherfucker
about
there.
me. That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen,
He had the worst takes.
he'd give anything to have my job. He'd give anything to have my resume. He ain't on ESPN. I got the #1 show. Where his show do? How his show do? You ever see this despicable dude on television? I'm not even getting into how difficult he is to look at. I'm saying, have you ever listened to him?
That's funny,
Who wants
bro.
him? I don't speak like this, ladies and gentlemen, but what else? What other explanation is there other than his evil, vile tendencies than you want to be me? You wish you were in this position, didn't you? Don't you? You wish you had the #1 show for 12 years, don't you?
All right.
wish you-
All right, man. I'm good. I don't need to listen to any more. That was funny. Kind of anticlimactic, though, to be honest with you, bro, because he was firing them shots, bro. He said I had to. Maybe just because you was cussing the way you was cussing. That's not how you talk. I'm on my podcast. You a fat bitch. You piece of shit. You fucking roach and all that. I guess that's what it was. And you ugly and you a fucking white supremacist. So, yeah. I guess you did serve him, dog. But, yeah. What about the 1.5 points, though, bro?